years, Hideo Kojima has been putting jokes in the Metal Gear games. Sexy posters, ghosts, and references to his other titles. But now Kojima gives us his grandest joke in the way of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. No, the game isn't bad. The joke is that this might be the biggest Metal Gear game ever, and you'll only find it on Sony's smallest system. Set after the events of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater and Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, Peace Walker picks up with the tale of Naked Snake, or the man known as Big Boss. After murdering his mentor in Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake's left the US and started his own army. When a man shows up asking for help in getting the CIA out of Costa Rica, Snake isn't all that interested. But when the same man plays a tape that seems to prove his mentor is alive, our hero and his army are pulled into the mix.
Fight with me, little soldier. Show me how strong you really are.
Peace Walker is one of the best looking games to ever come to the PSP. Yes, there's a blurry texture here and there when you get up close, but there were times when I was playing this and I literally forgot I was on a handheld. Marching through the jungle, I'd trip over camouflaged enemies, and the comic cutscenes, including the pencil sketch flashbacks to Snake's battle with his mentor, are a thing of beauty. The feeling of forgetting plays into the Peace Walker controls. You have a few styles to choose from, but the systems of movement and item selection are all intuitive and easy. You'll be throwing bad guys with CQC and cycling through weapons like a champ in no time. Also in the plus column, for once, is the story in this Metal Gear game. Rather than go batcrap insane like many chapters in this franchise have, Peace Walker sticks with a solid narrative for Snake. He needs to know if the woman he trusted and had to kill is alive because he needs to know what really happened all those years ago. He hasn't been able to move on, he needs closure. The biggest misstep on the presentation front is the fact that you're kind of on your own for figuring out the intricacies in this game. There are brief tutorials here and there, but they gloss over the finer points of building a squad or programming your own Metal Gear to speak. This is the polished, tried and true Metal Gear gameplay you'd expect, but Kojima's added so much more. Yeah, you can duck walk around levels and hold people up, but the new CQC moves can be chained together to take out groups. The Folsom system allows you to kidnap enemies in the blink of an eye, and the loadout system means that you can tailor your weapons and gear to the mission at hand. See, each mission is broken out into its own task. You do it, get a stat screen, and then get to pick what you want to do next. This makes co-op, which is a huge focus in Peace Walker, a breeze. You can have a friend join you for a regular mission, or 3 friends jump in for a boss fight. Whatever each of you collect, you share as a group. It needs to be said, co-op is a blast. Taking on bosses and silently wiping out enemy strongholds with a buddy over a beer is an awesome experience that will keep me coming back to Peace Walker for a long time. The only problem with co-op is that sometimes it feels mandatory. It seems everyone I talk to who has played Peace Walker gets hung up at one mission or another and needs another player to drop in and help. There are more than 100 extra ops for you to tackle that aren't part of the story. For some of those, 4 people is going to be pretty much mandatory. I'm fine with that because they're optional, but you should be able to beat the story on your own. Granted, you could grind and improve your weapons, a benefit of recruiting soldiers and placing them on your R&D team, so you'd have a better shot at whatever boss has you stumped, but that's kind of killing the flow of Snake's tale. Still, that's not a big issue when you realize how much stuff is in Peace Walker. I beat the story in about 17 hours, but the more than 100 extra missions, recruiting my army, sending my army out on missions, building my own Metal Gear, and trying to develop the best weapons possible means that I've already put in 35 hours and I still want to keep playing.
The folks back at Mother Base will be thrilled.
Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is huge, and it's awesome. There's so much to do in this one game that it'll be easy to lose yourself in Snake's story. There are tapes to listen to, goofy mini-games to play, and one of Kojima's better stories packaged with the stealth action gameplay you know and love. It's not perfect, as the difficulty of some missions will piss off solo players, and I wish there was more guidance to the game's fringe modes, but those issues don't take away from the fact that this game is something you should play. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker is incredible. For the full review, check out IGN.com.